standing. Welcome to the 2017 inaugural commencement program. This is a very special day in the lives of those receiving their DMD, Doctor of Dental Medicine degrees from A.T. Still University of Health Sciences. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, and staff, I thank you for joining us in honoring these outstanding graduates and recognizing their great achievement. Please remain standing while Dr. Herbert Silva, Comprehensive Care Unit Director, leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I would like to introduce the Dean of the Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health, Dr. Dwight McLeod.
Thank you, Dr. Gavitz. Good morning and welcome. Please allow me to make a few introductions, but please hold your applause until I have introduced the entire stage party. Please remain standing as I call your name. Beginning on my far left, Dr. Herbert Silva, Comprehensive Care Unit Director. Dr. Dale Dewan, Director of Integrated Human Sciences and Grand Marshal. Ms. Nika Smith, Associate Dean of Academic Affairs. Dr. Norman Gavitz, Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs. Honorable Jay Nixon, our commencement speaker. Dr. Craig Phelps, Class of 1984, President of A.T. Still University. On my far right, Dr. Marsha Marden, Comprehensive Care Unit Director and Marshal. Dr. Allison Crutchfield, Assistant Dean for Preclinical Education and Simulation Clinic. Dr. Poonam Jain, Vice Dean for Clinical Education, Operations, and Community Partnerships. Dr. David Goldman, Class of 1991, President-elect of the Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association. Please welcome our stage party. At this time, I would like to introduce to you the Class of 2017. Please stand, Class of 2017. Thank you. You may be seated. I would now like to introduce some other very important individuals. First, our outstanding MOSDOH faculty. Would you please stand? Faculty, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. Ms. Bertha Thomas, Member, ATSU Board of Trustees. Dr. Jack Magruder, President Emeritus of A.T. Still University, and his wife, Sue, First Lady Emerita. Mr. Ron Winkler, former member, ATSU Board of Trustees, and his wife, Cecilia. Ms. Karen Dent, Oral Health Network Director, Missouri Primary Care Association. Mr. Alan Freeman, CEO and President of Phinia Healthcare. Ms. Lori Haxton, ATSU Vice President for Student Affairs. Mr. Nate Walker, District 3 Missouri State Representative. Ms. Donna Lechtenegger, District 146 State Representative. Now, would all graduates who are members of the military please stand? Thank you for all you do for all of us. Parents, grandparents of the graduates, please stand. We thank you for the support you have given to our graduates and for entrusting them to us. It has been our honor and privilege to have these young men and women learn with us. Thank you, and please be seated. Spouses, partners, significant others, and children of the graduates, please stand. We also honor you and thank you for your understanding and support. We extend a special thank you to the University of Missouri St. Louis for the hospitality in allowing us to use the Blanche E. Touhill Performing Arts Centers for commencement. At this time, I would like to share some statistics with you regarding the class of 2017. There are 42 Doctor of Dental Medicine graduates, composed of 22 ladies and 20 gentlemen. 19 states are represented and 1 country. 33% will be going into public health service, 33% will be going into advanced training programs, 33% will be going into private practice. 100% pass rate on the Western Regional Examination. Congratulations, congratulations indeed. At this time, I would like to introduce the class of 2017 President, Ms. Kara Gerber.
Good morning. On behalf of the class, thank you to our loved ones for being here with us today. Much of our success has been driven by your constant love and support that you have shown us throughout our lives, especially in the last 4 years. You can't imagine how often your words of encouragement lifted our spirits. To my dear colleagues and friends sitting before me, today is all about you and your many accomplishments. By accepting a seat in the inaugural class of a brand new dental school, we automatically chose to walk along the road less traveled. In some ways, because of the unique dynamics within ATSU-MOSDOH, we helped pave a new path altogether. Little did we know when we began here what we were in for, and that we were taking on such a tremendous responsibility that has now become such a great honor. Our experience of dental school is like that of no other dental student or dentist in the country. Part of our unique experience is simply due to the fact that we chose to attend a brand new school that reinvented the approach to providing dental education. The other part, my favorite part, has been sharing this journey with each of you. Between the 42 of us and the role we held as the leading group for this program, we created and nurtured a very special bond. A bond that constantly reminded us that we were always in this together. A bond that makes us feel like family. This carried us through all-night study sessions back in Kirksville and prepared us to help each other with the incredible clinical training experiences we have been fortunate to have received. Between our personal lives and the commitment of dental school, we have been through it all, and we have been there for one another in a manner that is nearly unheard of for professional students. So much has happened over the last 4 years, and more often than not, it is hard to sit and cherish the memories without feeling a wide spectrum of emotions. As to be expected in a new program, we faced many challenges. Nothing anybody had told us in preparation for serving as pioneers could have indicated the additional frustration and stress we might encounter as we began our professional careers in dentistry. There were times where we were pushed beyond our physical, emotional, and intellectual limits. Lucky for us, we already had such a strong foundation of support for one another. We also had incredible mentors on and off the clinic floor, gently reminding us to keep our focus. In the midst of the challenges associated with professional school, the character of this group never faltered. After witnessing all that has taken place, I have been completely convinced that this is not your typical graduate level group of students. We have always worked hard, but we have never been defined by our work. And while I absolutely believe we are among the most competent and skilled group of dentists to be graduating this year, you each possess so many more qualities that will contribute greatly to your success. We are now dentists that have been trained to an exceptional level, and we have our own mentors and instructors to thank for their tireless dedication. However, there are some things that simply cannot be taught. Either you have it or you don't, and this group does. You are all talented, but you stand out because of your integrity, humor, confidence, and the very special ability to treat your patients with compassion. This journey we have shared over the last 4 years has finally reached its bittersweet end. At times, it seemed we would never see the light at the end of the tunnel. But knowing that today, we all share the same moments and the same place for the last time has been an unwelcome reality. By some stroke of fate, we were brought together to learn and grow side by side. Our experience of dental school brought more than its fair share of trials. In hindsight, it is now obvious that those challenging phases served as a great source of humility. And it was during those times especially that we cherished this remarkable bond between us. We have made lifelong friendships and a lasting impact on one another and on this program. It is my hope that the students to follow are able to uphold the extraordinary precedents we have set, both in personal development and clinical performance. A quote by our former president, Barack Obama, seems to be the most fitting for today's occasion and the group we are here to celebrate. As tough as things have been, I am convinced you are tougher. I have seen your passion, and I've seen your service. I've seen you engage, and I've seen you turn out in record numbers. I've heard your voices amplified by creativity. I've seen a generation eager, impatient even, to step into the rushing waters of history and to change its course. You will all be brilliant leaders within the field of dentistry and in your communities, while still having the luxury to enjoy the treasures of day-to-day life with your beautiful families. Congratulations to my very beloved classmates. You have earned every bit of pride and success that we are here to celebrate today.
Thank you, Ms. Gerber, for such a lovely speech. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Honorable J. Nixon. Former Governor Nixon is a graduate of the University of Missouri, Columbia, earning a bachelor's degree with honors and a Juris Doctorate degree. He has received many recognitions throughout his career, including an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree from ATSU's Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine in May 2009. He has served the state of Missouri for 30 years, beginning his career as a Missouri State Senator from 1987 to 1993. From there, he became Missouri Attorney Governor General from 2003 to 2009, when he was elected Governor of the state of Missouri in 2009, serving 2 terms. As governor, Nixon led the state through difficult times, received national recognition as a strong fiscal manager, and was praised for his appointment of more than 150 centrist bipartisan judges. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our commencement speaker today, the Honorable J. Nixon. Thank you.
Good morning and thank you. This is a very special moment. I just a short personal statement, then I'll give a speech no one will remember, and then we'll get on with the festivities. A special note of thanks to Jack and Sue Magruder and to Alan Freeman, not only for the incredible work that they've done to make this day possible and to make sure that the students here have the kind of education and quality lifestyle choices that make a difference, but also for their help specifically to me in difficult, challenging times as governor. Folks like this were incredibly helpful. Alan joined my cabinet in social services for a period of time. Jack obviously has been tremendously helpful in so many ways, and Sue, and I just want to personally thank them. You just do not fully appreciate how some of those comments during difficult times were especially helpful. Since the tornado in Joplin in 2011, I start every morning by reading, at least now, the front page of the Joplin Globe. And it's safe to say that I'm confident that Joplin has returned to its strength because the picayune fights between the city council and the school board are on the front page pretty much every day now. They're back to fighting like they were before. But today's paper and today's day were especially impactful to me. On the front page of the Joplin Globe this morning is the following headline: "It's a godsend. Free dental clinic provides care for thousands in Joplin." This is the day that Missouri Dental Association and you, some of you in the future, will give one day of your year to travel somewhere and to help those who need help. As I understand, Kirksville is going to be a place where that happens sometime in the near future. I say that not to talk about Joplin or whatever, but just to let you all know how important it is for people to have that access to that vital health care. So, formally, I want to thank you for inviting me to be here. It's a great honor to be here at this inaugural graduation. Congratulations to the graduates and families. Also, in my now 30 years of public service, and like you, I graduated last year. I still would say very clearly that the largest groundbreaking in the history of this state was a groundbreaking for this school. And for those of you that were there, the size of it and the shovels and the scope of it was, perhaps a beach volleyball team will play there in the future. Also very appreciative of the work here in St. Louis, the clinicals making this education be something that digs deeply into you. In 1910, Dr. Still said, and it's quoted in your materials here today, and I quote, "I extend my love to all persons who by word or act have encouraged the unfolding of the science of osteopathy. I thank you from my inner depths of my soul." So as we look ahead today, I want to just talk very, very briefly about two things. Looking back 125 years ago at the now 125th anniversary of the school, the first of this school, first graduating class. Learning from history, we see the future. I think these days far too many people aren't recognizing enough how we are all in a continuum of history. And they think because of Twitter and because of the instant communication that perhaps the news cycles are shortening and the days are lived in smaller pieces, and we begin to focus, I believe, more on ourselves than on folks around us. And that is certainly not what your education is going to provide you, and certainly wasn't what Dr. Still was thinking about 125 years ago. Your task will be to heal both body and spirit and to transform people to live a healthier lifestyle. You're in the one area of medical where clearly your goal is to see patients as few times as possible. And if you do your job with their total health, you're also the gatekeeper to many other steps forward for better health, to be the gateway to prevention, better, and total health. So, two quick topics today. Diversity and prevention. Prevention first. Sun Jiao, in the 5th century BC, put a group of lessons together in what has been compiled as a book called The Art of War. It's a book about tactics and strategy and how you really, if you get down and read the book, it is not about how to win a war or win a battle, but how to win one by not having to fight one. According to an old story in the first section of that book, a lord of ancient China once asked his physician, a member of a family of healers, which of them was the most skilled in that physician's art. That physician, 5th century BC, whose reputation was such that his name became synonymous with medical science in China, replied, "My eldest brother sees the spirit of sickness and removes it before it takes shape. So his name does not get out of the house. My elder brother cures sickness when it is still extremely minute. So his name does not get out of the neighborhood. As for me, I puncture veins, prescribe potions, and massage skin. So from time to time, my name gets out and is heard among the lords." So, famous does not equal success. Notoriety does not mean substantive capacity. Curing or treating an affliction is just not the same as healing a body and soul. To be successful, each of you must be that first step. That regardless of what is hurting or what needs to be done, that you are the medical professional that begins to give each individual the tools they need to lead a healthy life in body and spirit. So I ask each of you in that role you'll have to be good teachers, not just practitioners, to be focused more on success than notoriety, and to do what you can to make sure that your patients live a lifestyle that has their interaction with extreme medical procedures as few and as infrequent as possible. So that's that side of this. The other side of the short comments I make are about diversity and worldview. As I said earlier, history can be a great teacher. I would argue no greater teacher. The road you have traveled, the road we have traveled as human beings, the development of the world is the best teacher about where we're going. We're in a world in which we are shifting from battles for territory to battles of ideology. Think back not so many decades ago, war and division were about conquering countries, occupying territory. Now that is a much different field we're on. Now we are in a battle of ideologies. And the people that understand that will be the great success of the future. We are all, as a world, economically intertwined. We must not fear competition from other countries. We must not fear competition from other people. My concerns for our future as a country and as a world aren't about elections or politicians. It's about us. We can't offload mistakes to people that happen to win an election. We can't offload responsibility to the ballot box. Much like your profession is trying to get people to live a healthier lifestyle 365 days a year, so it is as we, as humans in a very quickly changing world, have to live our lives as world citizens. The strength of America, the true strength of our great country, is in our openness, our ideology, our open competition for ideas and solutions. And there's no better school that understands that than this one. This graduating class from this 125-year-old group institution was founded by someone who had a much different view of health care than folks that thought you should put leeches on and bleed and cut arms off and do all the other stuff that was going on. And for many years, the study of osteopathic medicine, the delivery of osteopathic medicine was considered heretical. Now, as we come that full circle and we look at in the history, we see that the way to treat illness, sickness, hurt, dental hurt, is to do everything we can to prevent it from happening again. So as a country, the simplistic view that more tanks, more ships, more jets we build, the better and safer we will be, the more we wall ourselves off from others, that somehow that will make us stronger, that is not how our country was founded. And we have to be strong, I understand that, believe me. But not strong to keep us from the world, but strong so that the world is welcomed here, to the world's greatest democracy, to the most diverse country in the world, to a place where we all came from somewhere to be Americans. The world that we live in will be safer, and it will not be safer, simplistically, for more weapons. That is the longer-term debate about the expenditure of the resources that we all give to our government. Whether or not we want to continue to be the country that spends more on weapons than the next 20 countries below us combined. So you as leaders must be open, curious, confident, welcome, and loving. You know, to put it in the dental terms here, you don't really want to extract teeth. Be a whole lot better off if people had good dental health and didn't have to do that. And that is just a really good analogy for both what you're stepping into and what we as a society are seeing. Too many people believe that extracting things when they might hurt just a little bit and being as strong as possible somehow is going to win an ideological war, and it won't. We don't want to repel people away from our country and communities, but keep growing in mind and spirit. So, this is, in 11 minutes to go from 5th century BC to today is pretty efficient speech here, folks. But we're getting to today, and then you all get your degrees and move on. So, to this first class, to this great profession, to the health of our communities here and around the world, let me finish with two quotes. One from The Art of War, where Sun Tzu said about a battle, Whoever is first in the field and awaits the coming of the enemy will be fresh for the fight, and whoever is second in the field and has to hasten to battle will arrive exhausted. I just asked you in your careers to be first. Be first in interaction with your patients, be first in interaction with your communities, and that will provide not only better health, but better lives for those around us. Today is a great day, a historic day, adding strength to the legion of healthcare and total healthcare professionals in our state and our country. Each of you graduates will no longer be the same. You'll be leaders of your profession, your communities, and your growing world. So let me conclude my short address with one more quote from Dr. Still. He said, "I thank you one and all from the inner depths of my soul, and I wish each of you Godspeed." Congratulations.
Thank you, Honorable J. Nixon, for such an encouraging speech. President Phelps, the candidates for the Doctor of Dental Medicine have successfully completed the requirements for their degrees. Upon recommendation of the faculty, I have the pleasure of presenting them to you at this time. Will the first row of candidates please stand and proceed to the stage?
Kristen Meredith Alexander. Kate Rains Avery. Hajra Azam. Drew Michael Barton. Adam Joshua Bree. Braden Craig Collister. Roman Chowens. Maricon Dizon Copeland. Elizabeth Nicole Dizon Desamero. Gregory Williams Diedrich. Martin Luke Fowler. Kara Lynn Gerber. Pardeep Kaur Gill. Caleb Anderson Green, hooded by his father, Dr. David K. Green. Daryl Grigsby Jr., hooded by his brother, Dr. Justin Eccles. Jacob Wesley Hamby. Ashton Ray Hunley. Sadaf Hussan, hooded by her sister, Dr. Aram Hussan. Jacob Dean Hutchings. Dewani Joshi. Taryn Marie Kavanaugh. Supriya Koirala. Zane Michael Lambert. Colby J. Lance. Connor Mahoney. Jeffrey Kyle Maples. Kimberly Tui Hua Wen. Kyle Orr. Davina Parathundil. Valerie Florence Paulo. Alyssa Ann Finney. Caitlin Marie Powell. Taylor James Pratt. Cesar Rivera Swanson. Brooke Caitlin Sabia. Nicholas Christian Schultz. Jaxie Joe Short, hooded by her brother, Dr. Joshua Plattner. Dina Tambacucci. Alexander Michael Walls, hooded by his father, Dr. Jeffrey Walls. Grant Matthew Webster. Madeline Faye Werner, hooded by her father, Dr. Ross Werner. Patricia Verzabitsky.
All right, class of 2017, please stand. Upon the recommendation of the faculty, dean, and senior vice president of academic affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree, Doctor of Dental Medicine, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, doctors. Graduates, please remain standing. Dr. Crutchfield.
Please read from page 13 of your program with me. I pledge to faithfully fulfill my obligations as a member of the dental profession. My responsibility is to promote the health of the community and those I serve. The health of my patients will be my first commitment. My practice depends upon the trust of my patients. I will not violate that trust. I will do no harm. I will honor my peers and respect the diversity they bring to the profession and commit to our mutual success. I will honor my patients' dignity. I will be their zealous advocate, sensitive to their feelings, needs, and thoughts. I will not discriminate against any person in my decisions and care. I recognize the limits of my competence. I will seek knowledge and inspiration from my colleagues whenever my patients' needs require. I will strive to improve my knowledge and skills. I am responsible for contributing to the improvement of the community. I will strive to prevent disease and correct adverse social conditions. I will serve as both a teacher and role model for my patients, my successors, and the public. I am responsible for upholding my profession's integrity. I will strive to counsel those deficient in character or competence and expose those who engage in fraud or deception. I will use my professional knowledge according to the laws of humanity. With this oath, I willingly assume these responsibilities. Please be seated.
It is my honor to now introduce the President-elect of the Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association Board of Directors, Dr. David Goldman. Dr. David Goldman, DO, is a board-certified psychiatrist and resides in Jacksonville, Illinois. He is licensed to practice medicine in Illinois, Missouri, and Tennessee. Dr. Goldman graduated from the A.T. Still University of Health Sciences, Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine in 1991. He completed both a residency and a fellowship at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, and currently works in Hannibal, Missouri, specializing in psychiatry and child and adolescent psychiatry. Dr. Goldman is an active medical education teacher as well as an enigmatist and frequently utilizes magic and mentalism to highlight points in his presentations. Please welcome Dr. David Goldman.
It is an honor for me to be here today to celebrate this momentous occasion of the graduation of the first class of the Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health. It seems like it was only yesterday that I was seated at my graduation from ATSU, yet here I am over 25 years later as the incoming president of the ATSU Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association, being granted this honor of addressing you, the august body of the first graduating class of MOSDOH, your parents, your grandparents, your family, and friends. From this moment forward, as you begin the realization of your future, as you go forth and practice your art and your science, as you teach others about A.T. Still University, may you always remember your alma mater. You will continue to be an important part of this university, its progress, and its success. Congratulations on setting the stage and paving the way for all future MOSDOH students and graduates. Please know that our Alumni Association provides many opportunities for you to stay in touch with all your classmates and to become involved in the future of your school. We hope you will take advantage of these opportunities. You are the greatest ambassadors the university has, and we hope that you will accept this opportunity to join your fellow alumni in working together to assure that the future of ATSU remains as bright as it is now. I ask now for the MOSDOH graduating class of 2017 to please stand. As the incoming president of the ATSU Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association and as a member of the ATSU KOAA Board of Directors, by the authority vested in me by that board, it is my pleasure and privilege to induct you formally as individuals and as a graduating class into membership in the A.T. Still University Alumni Association and the MOSDOH chapter. On behalf of the other university alumni worldwide, it is my pleasure and privilege to congratulate you now as the newest members of the A.T. Still University Alumni Association. You may now be seated. I want to thank you again for the honor of welcoming you into the A.T. Still University Alumni Association family, and I congratulate each of you on your stellar achievement and wish you all continued success throughout your future. Just as your education has made a difference in your life, may your life make a healing difference in the world. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Golden. Thank you. Dr. Gerber, thank you for your words earlier. Perhaps you can come back next year and give the alumni a challenge for the next graduating class. Dr. McLeod, it's been a pleasure, and your faculty and staff. Former Governor Nixon, thank you for those fine, inspirational words. Class, you're an amazing group. I can't tell you how many nights I laid awake hoping for your success and making sure that the team continue to work together to make this day possible. Nothing succeeds like success, and you are an amazing success story. You've heard about some of the folks in the community that are here to support you. As you know, the folks of Kirksville and St. Louis really poured their hearts out to make this happen and are so proud. I was in the shuttle bus yesterday to go from the airport to the hotel, and the gentleman driving the Enterprise shuttle bus said, "Wow, are you at A.T. Still University?" I had my shirt, and he goes, "That is so cool about the dental school. We are so happy to have that in this community." And so you are making an effect in many, many ways in both communities. Ushers and those volunteers that are here today, thank you, and our graduation committee, thank you. You were here early this morning, many of you coming down last night to make sure that this event is special for our graduates and families, and thank you again. And I understand that there are some patients here and don't feel like you should identify yourself or clap, but I think this is the first graduation I've ever attended where I think there were something like maybe 20 or 30 patients in attendance, and that says a lot about these young men and women today that are graduates and new doctors. Graduates, today is one of the most important days of your personal and professional life. In a few moments, when you walk through those doors, you will wear the mantle of a healer. You are the students, along with your faculty, who have changed the paradigm of dental education. The head of HRSA visited A.T. Still University last October and proclaimed that this is the model. This is the way dental education and in our other schools, medical education should be done. As you heard earlier, you have what our country needs, and in fact, you have what our world needs. No one is better prepared than you. No one can do it better than you. Our future is in your hands. Until we meet again, Godspeed. Thank you.